This film, Out of Darkness, is a hidden gem, especially for anyone interested in early human history. Directed by Andrew Cumming, the film shows how strong his talent is. Even though the story is fictional, the film tries to stay close to real prehistoric details. One of its most unique elements is the constructed language called Tola. This language was designed by Dr. Daniel Anderson from the University of Oxford, who combined features from several ancient languages to create something believable for that era. The story takes place around 45,000 years ago, during the middle of the Ice Age. At this time, early Homo sapiens had just begun moving into Europe. The film follows one of the first groups to step onto this new land. Throughout the recap, we'll highlight important details as they appear. So now, let's move into the story itself. The film opens 45,000 years ago, showing a small group of Homo sapiens. There are 6 members: the young leader Adam, 2 women Ave and Bea, Adam's younger brother Geir, an elderly man Odal, and Adam's son Haran. Relationships in that era weren't exactly like today, but the group lived like a family. Ave is treated as Adam's partner, and she is pregnant. We learn from a short dialogue that Haran is not her biological son. Odal isn't related to them either. He is simply the elder of the group, and his wisdom is important for their survival. Bea comes from another tribe. The group calls her a stray, suggesting she lost her people or was separated for unknown reasons. The film never explains exactly where they originally came from or which part of Europe they reached. This mystery is intentional, so the story feels universal. The story begins at night as the family struggles with hunger. Haran asks Ave to tell him a story, but she is in pain. Even then, she gently describes the place Adam is leading them to, a land with food, animal herds, and warm caves where they can survive. Before she can finish, Odal interrupts and begins telling a story of his own. This moment shows that storytelling has always been part of human life, even in the earliest times. From Odal's words, we understand how groups like theirs kept moving with the seasons. Their previous land likely ran out of food, so they crossed the sea in search of a new place. The exact area isn't confirmed, but the film hints that they reached the far northwest of Europe, suggested later by a shot of aurora lights. The film doesn't show how they crossed the sea, but archaeology tells us humans 45,000 years ago did have simple water travel technology. Still, the movie avoids showing any raft because no one knows exactly what kind they used. And yes, it's hard not to pause the story. The historical details are just too fascinating. Odal first speaks proudly about their long, difficult journey and how they finally stepped onto this new land. But very soon, they realize the place is empty. No animals, no plants, nothing to eat. The land is cold, harsh, and wide open. Their hunger becomes clear, and since Adam is the leader, Odal blames him for bringing them here. He even calls the land cursed and claims there are dangerous beings stronger than them living in this place, ready to destroy them. Odal's warnings scare the others, showing how fear has always been part of human nature. Anything they couldn't understand felt threatening to them. At least, this was a time when humans had fire, warm animal skin clothing, stone and bone tools, and a developing language. The next morning, they head toward the mountains to find a safe cave. Life for early Homo sapiens was already extremely hard, and unfortunately, this new land was even more barren than they expected. Adam keeps encouraging the group, promising they will find a better place. The film's visuals make the harsh ancient world feel very real. But the biggest problem remains. They have no food. Adam and his brother Ger go hunting, but they find nothing except the remains of a huge mammoth. The bones suggest it didn't die naturally. It looks like someone forced it off a cliff. Adam assumes there might be other hunters in the area, but he tells Ger not to mention it to the group because it might frighten them even more. As time passes, hunger gets worse. Odal becomes desperate and warns Adam that without food, they will all die. Adam, however, is determined to act before things get out of control. Ger likes Bea. Soon after, Bea has her first monthly cycle, which scares her because she doesn't understand it. Ave explains it's normal and actually a good sign, meaning Bea can someday become a mother and belong to the group. Their conversation also shows Ave's worry. She hopes for a son because, in that harsh world, survival was harder for women. The group rested at night and avoided traveling in darkness. Adam stayed on guard as he was the strongest hunter. Next day, heavy fog appears, and for a moment, Adam loses Heron. He panics, but Heron was only joking, and Adam scolds him. Later, Adam and Ger go hunting and reach a dense forest. Adam refuses to enter, saying they could get lost. Ger argues the group is too hungry for long detours, but Adam still refuses. When they return, Ave is in severe pain, pregnant, exhausted, and starving. She needs more food, but hasn't eaten. Adam and Odal try helping her, but she lashes out from frustration and hunger. Adam asks his brother to keep watch. Bea steps aside to clean herself, and Adam follows her, touching her to show he expects her to fulfill his needs, fearing Ave and her baby may not survive. Ger senses this and is hurt because he likes Bea, while Adam clearly wants a child with her. Bea is already scared, and then she spots a strange creature nearby, which frightens her even more. A sudden, eerie sound rises from the darkness. The group gathers around the fire in fear, and Adam prepares his spear. Then, in the darkness, something grabs Heron and drags him away. Adam wants to run after him, but Ger stops him, crying, saying it will get them all killed. Adam waits for morning. At sunrise, he follows the tracks, and the group follows behind. Bea has a fever and doesn't want to go, but she must. Soon, Adam finds Heron's clothes with a sticky black substance on them, something thick, but not blood. As they continue walking, the group reaches the same forest Adam refused to enter earlier. Now even Ger warns against it, knowing the forest is dangerous. But this time, Adam decides with his heart, not his mind, and takes everyone inside. They are starving and weak, but they keep moving. Soon, they reach a disturbing area filled with animal remains, making it clear that something else hunts in this region. While they are still reacting, a strange scream echoes through the forest. Adam tells everyone to run and get out before nightfall. But the forest is huge and dark, and the creature's sounds grow closer. They start realizing that Heron is likely dead. Bea manages to start a fire, hoping it will protect them. The creature stays nearby, watching. By judging the direction of the sound, Adam throws his spear and then follows the noise. Fear takes over him because this doesn't seem like any normal animal. Suddenly, Adam is attacked. We don't see the creature clearly, but his family hears his painful screams and panics. Ger can't hold back and rushes to find him. After some time, he returns carrying Adam. Adam is still alive, but badly injured. His face is damaged. Seeing Adam's suffering becomes unbearable. Ave begs Ger to end his pain, but Ger breaks down and can't do it. So Bea steps forward and uses her stone tool on Adam's chest, giving him a final release. The moment is horrific and heartbreaking. Fear and hopelessness take over the group. Soon after, Ave collapses from shock, hunger, and exhaustion. Bea warns that without food, they will all die. Their only option now is Adam's body. Ger refuses, crying that they are not monsters and cannot eat their own. But for survival, the group has no choice. Ger can't touch his brother, so Bea makes the difficult decision, and they eat just enough to survive. Ger is devastated. He has lost his brother and now carries the weight of leadership. And something unknown in the forest is still hunting them. One question haunts him. Why didn't the creature eat Adam? Odal says it's punishment for entering the creature's territory and warns that it will not spare them. They still don't know what this thing is, only that it's far stronger than they are. Ave says the creature is a demon, and Odal insists they must offer it a sacrifice. Ger disagrees, saying they should hunt it. Bea points out the truth. Adam already tried and failed. They cannot beat the creature, and what they really need right now is shelter, not a fight. But fear is controlling everyone. Ger takes Adam's spear and becomes the new leader. Odal dislikes it, but must follow if he wants to stay with the group. Next morning, they move forward carefully, but the forest is so dense they can't find a way out. Odal then declares that things will be done his way. They must sacrifice someone. He chooses Bea. Ave and Odal agree, unwilling to sacrifice themselves. This shows how ancient sacrifice rituals likely came from fear, costing many innocent lives. Ave and Odal seize Bea. Ger tries to stop them, but Ave pushes him and he hits his head on a rock, knocking him out. They drag Bea to a spot with a large stone and animal remains, a place they believe is meant for sacrifice. Odal calls the creature while dragging Bea forward. Ave says she cannot lose more children, and the necklace on her neck suggests she has already lost many babies. She refuses to lose the one she is carrying, which is why she supports sacrificing Bea. This shows how brutally difficult survival was. Suddenly, a terrifying sound comes from the forest. Ave and Odal panic, abandon Bea, and hide. Both are terrified. But then Odal turns on Ave and strikes her. The pregnant Ave can only watch helplessly, a painful moment that again shows human selfishness, driven by fear. Since Bea escaped, Odal decides Ave should be the sacrifice. He shouts for the creature to take her, but Ave grabs his leg, pulling him down and breaking his bone. Her scream is loud enough for Bea to hear from nearby. Moments later, Ave dies. Night falls, and the aurora borealis appears, revealing that they are in northern Europe. Bea hides, then returns. She finds Ave's body and Odal severely injured. She could help him, but chooses not to. After she leaves, Odal senses movement, and something drags Ave's body away. Odal realizes he will be next, and waits for death. On the other side, Ger regains consciousness. When he gets up, he sees Odal lying injured. Before he can help, something drags Ger away. But it's actually Bea, who covers Ger's mouth and tells him to stay quiet. A moment later, the strange creature approaches Odal. The sight is so terrifying that Odal dies purely from fear. Ger and Bea watch from a distance, stunned. Bea blows a whistle and runs, but the creature notices Ger. Knowing he cannot escape, Ger raises his spear and prepares to fight. As the creature nears him, Bea attacks from behind and grabs its head, and realizes it is wearing a mask. Both of them are shocked to see the truth. This monster is actually a woman who looks almost human. She is a Neanderthal, the ancient people who lived in Europe before Homo sapiens arrived. During the final period when Neanderthals were disappearing from the world, the Neanderthal woman is just as startled. She runs, and Bea and Geir chase her. Bea refuses to stop, because the Neanderthal clearly knows the forest paths and might lead them out. But she slips away from their grasp. The Neanderthal woman runs quickly toward a mountain. Bea wants to follow, but Ger says it's pointless and tells her to let the woman go. He sits down in despair. Bea insists they should track her footprints. She can lead them to caves. Ger argues she is human like them, but Bea disagrees. She saw the woman dragging Ave's body and believes she's a monster. Ger no longer cares. His whole family is gone, and he only wants to leave. He tells Bea they should go back, but she says they have nowhere to return to. Their choice is to move forward or accept death here. She adds that if the Neanderthal has shelter and food, following her may help them. Ger asks, "What if there are more of her?" Bea says that if many existed, they'd already be dead. She believes the woman only wants to scare them away, maybe because she fears them too. Fear comes from having something to lose. Ger asks if Bea isn't afraid. She admits she is, but she wants to survive. Her courage gives Ger a small spark of hope. Bea and Ger gather their courage and move on. After climbing the mountain, they find 2 caves and enter separately, staying cautious in case it's a trap. A lightning flash reveals someone watching Bea. He suddenly attacks and breaks her arm. Ger hears her scream from the other cave. The attacker is a male Neanderthal, likely one of the last 2 survivors in the area. He starts choking Bea. She pretends to be dead, making him loosen his grip, then strikes his neck. He survives the first blow, so she finishes him completely. Going deeper, Bea finds a fire and someone sleeping. It's Heron. The Neanderthals didn't kill him. They kept him with them. The female Neanderthal from the forest appears. Bea attacks, and the woman raises her weapon. Heron tries to stop Bea, but she uses fire to scare the woman. Both see each other as threats and are ready to fight for survival. Just then, Ger enters and is shocked to see Heron alive. The Neanderthal woman uses his distraction and strikes Ger's head, killing him. After seeing Ger die, Bea sets the cave on fire and escapes with Heron. The Neanderthal woman follows them. Bea finds an upward path, helps Heron out first, then climbs out herself. The Neanderthal woman also tries to come out and begs Heron for help. Heron cries and reaches toward her, but Bea strikes her head from behind, killing her. Heron breaks down, accusing Bea. He says he was starving and the Neanderthals fed and protected him. They weren't monsters. You are, he cries. Bea tries to calm him and says the Neanderthals killed their people, but Heron insists they were human like them. Heron leads Bea into the cave, where they find plenty of food and organized markings on the walls, showing the Neanderthals' intelligence. They had even brought Ave's body there and placed it with care because she was going to have a child. This makes it clear. The Neanderthals buried their dead and respected life. Food was scarce, so maybe they kept only Heron alive. Or maybe fear on both sides caused the violence. Historically, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals did coexist in Europe for a time, and modern humans still carry Neanderthal DNA. In the end, Bea tells her story and buries her people. We see more graves, likely Neanderthal families. From here, a new chapter begins for Bea and Heron, bringing the film to its conclusion. Maybe we couldn't capture the full beauty of this film in words, but if you're interested in history, you should definitely watch it yourself at least once. It has a unique kind of magic.